Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. Now, I'd like to first of all take you through the Saturday Standard newspaper. There's a story here, and in the front cover, we have Moses Wetangula featured on the front cover, and the title of that newspaper is House of Grace. Now, one thing you need to note about this publication is that Moses Wetangula is being targeted here for the previous remarks, his stand on the government, because he is the Speaker of the National Assembly, but he appears to be biased. So in this analysis, ladies and gentlemen, I want us to focus more on Moses Wetangula because of the publication on the Standard newspaper. Now, first and foremost, there's a story that has been published by DAP Kenya here on their X handle, and they are saying the speaker has become the biblical Barnabas, biased and moving around with MPs who shout how they will steal elections. MPs being used to sanitize corruption and pass bills to hurt citizens and aid theft of public funds. This is the worst parliament in the history of legislation.
Nyinyi ndugu zetu wa Trans Nzoia, hasa jamii ya Wakalenjin, nyinyi ndio namzaa William Ruto, na mumeona vile anachezewa. The first and last line of defense ya rais wetu.
Something that I want you to note here is that DAP Kenya is targeting Moses Wetangula. You know, DAP-K is domiciled, majority of the membership is domiciled in Western. Now, Moses Wetangula also has a lot of followings, especially Bungoma County. Now, let's focus on this newspaper, House of Grace. Wetangula has been targeted. We are told that he walks around with people like Kamket, people like Sudi, people like Farouk. And most of those rallies, they talk about how, election will be stolen. That is the interesting part that we need to focus on, because that is what DAP Kenya is targeting. So if you look at Moses Wetangula, the Moses Wetangula that we have, you find that the position of the speaker, he got it because of UDA.
Power sharing agreement between UDA and ANC and Ford Kenya, for example, say that the UDA would nominate the coalition president, the presidential and deputy presidential candidates that was honored. The ANC would be allocated the position of the prime cabinet secretary, which has happened. Ford Kenya would be allocated the position of the Speaker of the National Assembly, and that is why Honorable Masika Wetangula sits here today.
And of course, Ford Kenya doesn't have numbers to propel Moses Wetangula to that position. So because of the truce between him and RUTO and the help he accorded RUTO during the election, that is the main reason why Wetangula, he is the speaker. So because of that reason, Wetangula is forced to toe the line. If he attempts to go against William Ruto's plans, of course Wetangula is going to be impeached. In fact, I don't know that impeachment is the right word to use there, but those people in the parliament are going to remove him and replace him with another person. But again, if you look at this matter from another angle, you find that Wetangula knows very well that in 2027 ODM is going to demand for that position. He will be forced to relinquish that quest to become a speaker again after 2027, should they have the numbers. If at all they will have the numbers. Now, before we explore this story on the Standard newspaper, please take this opportunity, support the work we do on this channel by liking this video, subscribe to our channel if you are not subscribed before, and to our existing subscribers, thank you so much for your support. Wetangula is a disgrace. Let's first of all go back to 2023, and there was this finance bill, 2023-2024. Look at how Wetangula, rushed things. That finance bill was rushed until before people could even know it, it had already been passed. Look at the way Wetangula handled even the NADCO report. Look at the way Wetangula used to handle some bills which Kimani Chungwa would front. Bills which would hurt the people of the Republic of Kenya, but Wetangula ended up passing them. Look at the way Wetangula treated the court cases, court directives. I think all this, if you look at them, then I tend to agree with the DAP Kenya on the position that Wetangula is a biblical Barnabas. For those of you who remember the story of Barnabas, and you look at how Wetangula is behaving politically, you want to relate the two stories. And also, if you look at this matter that has been brought up here by DAP Kenya again on the part of being biased, then I think that point makes sense, because Wetangula has exhibited a lot of biasness in the parliament. So I personally agree with the DAP Kenya when they talk about biasness, you know, and the issue of moving around with politicians who glorify theft of votes, you know. Wetangula is not supposed to be in the company of such people, because he's supposed to be a neutral person. In fact, the main reason why this government is being blamed is because Wetangula has refused to be like Kenneth Marende. Kenneth Marende was not biased, despite the fact that he was fronted by ODM, but he used to balance things in parliament. That is what people expected even from Wetangula. But Wetangula has exhibited something totally different. And that explains why DAP Kenya is coming out guns blazing on him, and with this kind of explosive tweet, ladies and gentlemen. So just go below in the comment section and tell us whether you think Wetangula is the kind of speaker you'd want Kenyans to have. Of course, Kenya Kwanza fronted him. Majority of people supported him back then, but these days, no. In fact, the 2024-2025 finance bill haingetufikisha pale ingetufikisha if at all the parliament ingestand firm ikasema no, Kenyans wamekataa na these are the things they want. Wangepolish vizuri ile finance bill, maybe whatever happened haingetokea. Maybe the Gen Zs would have felt contented wakasema parliament imetu defend. But the main reason they targeted parliament is because the speaker had failed. So just go below in the comment section and tell us what you think about this explosive message from DAP Kenya and the Standard newspaper publication, House of Grace, the parliament. So perhaps if you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. Until you catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.